All right, I am back for Sunday Morning Coffee 191. It's been a couple months or more. If you caught the update earlier this week, um, that says pretty much all that needs to be said there. I'm working off my phone right now. Um, Minor goals along the way here. Updates with the restorations. I'm not pulling car lot work anymore because, well, I don't need car lot work. I didn't want car lot work to begin with, but I needed it. Look at that shit. My wife asked if she could give me a mohawk. I said sure. Fuck it, it's just hair. You can shave it or grow it back as you wish, right? But I'm not pulling in small jobs. I'm gonna try not to pull in small jobs, or at least be very metered. I'm working about 70 hours a week right now, physical labor, doing the work. And Friday and Saturday took completely off. I had a friend of mine bless me with a ticket to Good Guys. Let me tell you something. I was supposed to meet up with two other people out there, and I want to go run into two other people yet. One had a booth at the swap meet, and one had a booth somewhere in the show. I found my buddy in the swap meet because he was easy to find. Everybody else, that crowd was a lot for me. I'm learning my social anxiety issues are coming back. I don't want to people anymore. I just don't want to people anymore, and that's. My wife says it's a problem. She says I have to be social. Humans are social creatures. You need to get out there. So it was a reasonable time. I got to look at some really bad work, got to look at some really good work. Moreover, my buddy bought me a ticket because he wants to get a project to play with and flip. He's very good on the mechanical side. He's the bloke that dragged me into this 21 years ago now, playing with cars. And I don't know. I don't know. He wanted me to go with him to look at stuff. So we kind of looked at stuff. I looked at cars in various levels of restoration, from basket cases to complete and finished, turnkey. Just looking at prices out there. Looked at what the fuck was it? A 64 Chevelle SS. Apparently it was correct. Some bitch. Apparently they've got everything numbers correct for it. Because they want a 10.5 for a Husk. It needed one new everything. So that was the big mission, was to fact find what are things going for now. What's a reasonable rate on return if you build something to flip. I'm trying to convince him just to build a rat. You got a lot of hours because you're taking disparate parts and stuffing them together. But rats are a pretty decent return on investment, and they're a good sell right now. People want them because they're unique, they're unusual, they're out there, As far as automobiles, that's a stretch. I guess I'll clarify a couple things. I got a backlog a mile long. I can work the next year 80 hours a week on just that, and might be caught up. That's if I don't do anything but wrap up the commitments I've got on board. I'll share a little something, and it comes out of my faith. I was staring down the barrel of closing the shop up, what do? Do I tell all these people to go fuck themselves? I see a lot of people do it. I work with a kid that essentially did that at Des Moines Customs. When he folded up, he just shoved everything out, told people to pick up what they had, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the damage control. Here's the damage on that situation. My blood isn't mine. I'm borrowing it from my ancestors. My name isn't mine. I'm borrowing it from my children. My heritage, I'm just a bucket of water in the stream when it comes to my heritage, my lineage, my peoples. And for me to be so selfish as to take the coward's way out and sully what has been built to this point and smear what my children have to build on is unacceptable. So the debts I've got, I'll make right. And there's acquired a lot of debt. Most of that debt I could walk away from. Just give a stiff middle finger and walk away from without real recourse. Some of that debt accrued I don't feel was totally legit. I think I got stuck holding the bag with some shit. It's on the books. It's read in the ledger that will get removed. Not for these individuals, not for me. For me, selfishly for me. Not because of ego or anything else, just because I've got to make right what I've done. I have found in my life that what we do comes back to us. Good or bad. And you can't go out and do something nice and good because you fucked up yesterday. It doesn't work that way. The good will come back to you. On the other hand, so will the bad. And you have to pay it all back. One way or another, you have to pay it all back. That's my belief. I'm not going to wax poetic on it, but there you go. That's why I'm going to put myself through a year and a half of hell. It's worth it. I'm going to get out in the shop and shoot videos on my phone. And we're going to have just some short snippet videos. One and done, no editing, some raw shit. I would love to... I want to put more videos up through the week. I'd love to get one day where I got 7 and 7. 7 days and 7 videos. It's the worst fucking word in the human language. Or dot. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just making it up as you go. And I am. I'm winging it. It's Sunday morning coffee. I got a Chevelle in here. I'm going to have a substantial amount of work done by the 10th or 11th for these owners to come look at. I'm excited to get back at that project. I've had to swivel my mindset a little bit and look at these as new things, new projects. I do have one old friend, very old friend, that has some leeway with his day job. And he's the cat that dragged me into cars 21 years ago. Fucking around and playing with him. And he's going to help me out on some things. We're going to start pushing forward. I don't like having multiple cars tore down anymore, just because of space and storage concerns. But we're going to start making headway. The 66 Chevelle, I want to get it where I'm doing body work. And I think there's a brake line I'm going to have to replace after fucking with the chassis. And get the drivetrain all buttoned back up where it's in place and where it belongs, and just get it back to a zero so we can finish the disassembly for body work and get it back together and paint it. I want to be able to send it out near the end of July. My goals right now in my mind is July. I need to sit down with, just print out calendar sheets and start making a Gantt chart for the things I've got going on. I've explained to these owners, I can work 70 hours a week. I can get away with that and do okay. Once every 6-7 weeks, I just kind of got to lay down and cruise like I did last week. But the loss on the days I've got to lay down and just recoup doesn't add up to what I gained pushing hard. So we're getting better. But I have to, out of that 70 hours a week I'm working, I've got to put 20 to 30 of those hours on either working part-time at Des Moines Customs across the way, or I've got to be pulling projects in here to do for, Bill's sake. But that still leaves me 40 hours that I can appreciably get stuff done. And then if I got a buddy that comes in 10 or 20 hours a week, and with what he's performing for me, I can compensate him quite well, because it's skill sets, it's avenues he's done. And said he's more on the mechanical side. I'm trying to get him into the body side. It's not as rigorous on the body. It's not as demanding on the body. Different skill sets, of course. Different muscle groupings get used. But yeah, it's kind of everything in a nutshell right now. I've been in a really weird spot lately with just not wanting to people. Crowds, people talking on the phone, this even. It's a little uncomfortable right now. It's weird. I don't care for it, but there it is. I'll push through it. Today is a wonderful day. I'm hoping that it doesn't open up and rainstorm on me, because I want to clean up the yard and get some work done in the house. I got to mow my acre and go over and mow my mom's half acre. But today is a special day indeed. This is 3 years anniversary for a lovely lady in my life and I. We've known each other over 5 years at this point. And it's been a good ride, ups and downs, but it's all been worth it. I've got a good partner, and I couldn't be happier for that. I can't wait for the next 3. She's the one that drags me back, pulls me back in when I get too far out there. My depression and anxiety issues have really seated themselves lately. And I actually got pulled aside yesterday afternoon. She's like, you're going to, she's telling me, she's like, I'm watching this and watching your behavior, and you're going to fucking grenade everything. Stop. Look at what you're doing. Look at what you've accomplished. And fix this. Don't fuck it up. So that's the kind of woman I got in my corner. But that's Sunday morning coffee, I reckon. I'll touch for about 2 minutes maybe on goals, ideals. I've been very scattered. I got back to work finally, which is excellent. But I got back to the physical aspect of it, not just administrative. My little hole back here is a mess. I need to get an engine for my log splitter so I can start processing lumber. I need to get all these logs dragged over and just stacked up because they're scattered all over Hell's Creation. I'm going to drag my 76 Dart out that I wanted to restore. It's not going to happen. It's a Mordor, so I'm going to part it out and cut it up and throw away the rest. Or just get rid of the son of a bitch altogether, which I probably need to do. But I'm going to work on getting everything tidied up here, back here in this little hole. My goals is simply just be here for another year, maybe 2 back here before I even try to make a move. My buddy Tony's doing a similar move. What it's going to do is let me get caught up, let me get my head in order, and be studious, academic, and learn and promote and really develop business skills I lack. If the day comes I decide to make a go at another shop, it's going to be a different scenario. I will not be fucking around with amateurs that I have to teach everything, including how to tie their damn bootlaces. I've had some really good guys. I've had 3 guys that showed a wonderment of promise. One was just too young. He wasn't ready to saddle up and go. One had some more problems than a 5th Street whore. And I wanted to be mad at him for a long time, but I can't. And the other dude, he had his own problems to take care of outside of work, so he did. 3 people in 6 years I come across that had enough promise to do this. That started with 0. So I mean, that's that, but I can't train people. I'm very good at teaching, but I can't train people without a proper backup roster doing their jobs, keeping the flow. I took on car lot work because it was quick, easy money. Well, the easy road tends to be hard at first. The hard road tends to be very easy at first, and I got myself trapped. I got myself trapped cycling out these car lot junk. And you can only yield a couple $100 a panel to repair and paint. You're not getting anywhere. So I'm going to be here until I get my money straight, I get my head straight, and I get these projects straight. And it's not a lamentful, woeful thing, because I'll build here. I'll make things here at the homestead that we'll use even if I leave this. And I'm going to leave this shop intact if I do bounce and open up a new endeavor. I will leave this shop intact, and I will start fresh somewhere else. That's my goal. That's my aim. If I start another shop, I've got to be able to put myself in a position to start fresh. And that way I can go totally above board and do everything straight and narrow. Looking at parts vending, I can source and get a hold of things that oftentimes folks can't, because I know where to look. I know where to find them. You can get paid to do that. And that's okay to get paid to do that. It's not like you're encroaching some kind of trust. I will be the pastor of parts, and I won't feel terrible about that. Because it's my time, my studies, my connections to help folks find what they need. I haven't decided what direction I'm going with that yet. But that's something I'm looking into. I've looked into for a long time. I've had my eyes set on it. Now I have time to organize those thoughts and maybe proceed. But that's that. That's the big scheme. Finish projects, get my head straight, learn some better business skills, get my money straight, get out of debt, fix up the homestead so it's more for us living here. And I'll keep this shop because I want to build cars with my kids, and I don't want to do it at work. If I open another shop, then we can get everything done here and take it over there for paint. If that's what it takes. Not that I'm worried about doing paint back here. I've done some wonderful paint work. That is the sum of the whole. I've been on here 20 minutes. I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great day. I'll talk with you soon. Sunday Morning Coffee, 191.